What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Piano Praiser coming at you today with a response video to our girl Ateyaaa. She had one of her subscribers send her an email and ask the question whether or not you should marry someone who you don't love. First of all, I want to let you know what makes me feel that I'm qualified to give you some advice on the situation is, number one, I have been married for 9 years. Number two, just like you, I'm a woman. So girl, I think I understand exactly where you're coming from. Let's get into this. First of all, I'd like to say to you, to even think about marrying someone who you don't love is like breathing with no oxygen. It's like living with no heartbeat. It cannot be done. Love is the foundation of a successful marriage. Sure, you can get married. Anybody can get married. But what you want to concentrate on is not the getting married, it's the staying married. And what's going to keep you staying together is the love, is that bond that you have between the two of you. Now, I heard Ateyaaa say that you are in love with someone from your past. And from what I gather, although it wasn't mentioned, and this is just me thinking, I gather that this individual hurt you pretty deeply. And that you are definitely still in love with him. And one way that you feel that you could retaliate or to get back with him was to accept this man's proposal. A man who you don't even love, but you accepted it as a measure to try to get over. Now, bear in mind, I am not a proponent. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have done this. No one can say that. But what I'm saying is the best way to give over somebody is time. You don't substitute another individual to help you forget or to help you get over somebody else. The time has to come, and there has to come a time when you heal within yourself. And when you latch on to someone just out of spite or just to get back with someone, then you have all these unresolved feelings. Now, you certainly do have feelings for this individual, and you're going to have feelings for this person until you work through these things. And you've said that you can't be together. By your own admission, this relationship for the past is going nowhere. So here's what I'm telling you, girl. You need to pick yourself up and get prepared to move on with your life. Moving on with your life does not mean settling for someone who you don't love, because marriage is so hard. My God, it's so hard. Once you get married, even when you love each other, there's a time when you get on each other's nerves. And if you don't have that marriage there to sustain you, girl, you know, in the wedding vows, it's for richer, for poor, for better in health and sickness and health, da 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 da. All we hear is the better, the richer. We forget about the negative things, and those things are going to come in a lifetime of two people. You're going to have disappointments. You're going to have setbacks. But the beautiful thing about marriage is that when you have those setbacks, you've got somebody holding your hand. You've got somebody that has your back, and that together you can overcome the obstacles. But if you go into a relationship with no love, you have no foundation. It's like building a house up on a hill with nothing up under it. You can build it, you can make it look pretty, but when the rain, when the wind, when the storms come, if there is not a solid foundation, that house is not going to stand. And the same is true with marriage. You can marry somebody, and the longer you with someone, you do love him, because the marriage, the love grows, it multiplies. But if you go into something without that base, you're not going to have the same multiplication. It's like putting money in the bank and drawing interest. If you got money in the bank, you can draw that interest. But if you don't put anything into the bank, you can't take anything out. And as well, not only can you draw off of that interest, but there comes a time you need to keep putting money in the bank to make it grow. The same thing with the love. You've got to multiply that love. You've got to foster it. So my advice to you is, if you don't love this man, yes, sit him down and tell him you're not ready. You've got a case of cold feet. You need to act upon it. We're in September. The marriage is scheduled for December. I think it's an appropriate time for you to sit down, let the other person know you're not in love, and possibly cancel this wedding, possibly push it out. But whatever you do, please don't go forward with this marriage, because you're not ready. Let us know how it turns out, and we all wish you the best. And shouts out to my girl Ateyaaa. Girl, I love you, and keep your videos coming. Mwah. Bye-bye.